Welcome to a new chapter in Story Part 2. This is Tim Boy, time for another Legend Fes Breakdown. This time we got Captain or Sailor Totori, and also a brand new character from this series, Lanze, available until September 3. So yeah, this is in live stream form. Expect this as a stream highlights. So, I'm back in action, recording the live Legend Fes Breakdown. So, expect Totori to be a slash breaker, while Lanze, or the new character in Resleriana, it will now be playable as a slash attacker. Also, I did play him a little bit in the story chapter, so for those who will be watching my live stream, don't expect I'll be trying to do a story battle, because I already did up ahead of time. So, Opal Sailor Totori. I already tried this in the Japanese version, so my knowledge has halfway improved since the last time I did this back in May. So, Hopeful Sailor with physical attack of 861, magical defense 670. That's actually her highest defense stat with 251. That's above average for a slash breaker. Skill 1 is Totori Slash, so 46% damage, 18% break damage, 106 of weight. After attacking, she'll boost her own break damage by 25% for 2 turns. So this is useful if you want to improve Burst and Skill 2 and Burst skill. You can also add the stun damage on the very skill that Totori will be using if you want to go for a quick getaway on getting on her next attack a bit faster. So it's a decent stun damage buffer, well, break damage buffer. I got to interchange between stun and break damage, but I'm gonna have to focus on break damage since this is more sensible than the stun damage. So yeah, Magic Sword Sandstraw. This is a single attack, 182% damage, 145% break damage with 206 weight. After attacking, boost physical attack damage received by 35% for one attack. So whoever's next after Totori uses her skill 2, the next enemy nearby, if the target's next panel is empty, then it will convert into a weakened panel, so basically a debuff. So it'll be skill damage debuff by 40%. So I think this is useful. So next time Totori tries to attack the enemy nearby, this is useful if you want to divert the one enemy that will be going on next after your allies will try to attack. You can use this on the nearest enemy that will be able to make its turn. So Totori's skill 2 is useful if you want to divert a skill damage debuff to next attack. Useful if you want to get out of situations where the enemy will wipe out your team, or if the enemy will likely use positive buffs. Now, this will not work if it has a burst or a strafing panel. It has to be empty. This won't work as to replace that an existing panel for that enemy. So expect to be useful if the enemy does not have any panel above it before its turn. So Giga Giant Anchor, 400% damage, 375% break damage with 200% ticks of weight. After attacking, she will convert all of the target's panels into weakened panels, weakened plus panels. So basically anything. I think there's a limitation, but I think it's not likely going to work on burst panels. But if Totori is targeting that enemy, then it will turn into a weakened panel. It can be empty, so this will also decrease skill damage by 40%. If the target is stunned, however, the enemy that Totori is currently attacking, she'll be able to burst skill damage of that. She'll increase burst skill damage to the ally with the highest physical attack by 25%, with a stackable of 50%. If you were to use her burst panel twice, then then the physical attacker that has the highest attack will be able to amplify its burst damage by like with an additional effectiveness of 50% on top of having to have stackable damage, whether it be level 3 to level 5. Well, basically, if you have a character that can attack burst skill at level 1, then it can be further enhanced by adding an additional stat of 25 to 50%. So Totori is an efficient burst supporter. Well, in the sense that she is going to be useful as well as debuffing enemy panels. Debuffing enemies with the use of weakened panels. Just a skill damage debuff of 40%. I guess this one will be useful. Well, we'll have to see in the trial battle that I'll have to play. So wins on our side. Reduce the potency of all allies' negative effects received by 15%. So instead of having the full effect on the debuff damage, whether it be slow down, defense debuff, break damage inflict down, or skill damage debuff, Totori's passive will debuff by up to 85% total. So from 100%, if using her ability or passive, then the effects they'll receive will just be about 85% instead of the usual 100. Power of Destruction. So boost stun damage by 50%. This only works on herself. So yeah, on top of having to stack all of skill 1, skill 2, burst skill, and then additional stun damage buff by her skill 1. Power of Destruction adds the cherry on top of Totori being a very good solo slash breaker. You might say, well, Rose already does this. The caveat is that Rose can only decrease the slash resistance after he attacks it. Totori, on the other hand, she can amplify stun damage anytime. However, slash 1 is kind of interesting because skill 1 is kind of interesting because this follows the effect of Rose's skill resistance debuff after an attack. So yeah, it kind of works the same. It only works on after attack, but Totori will likely outpace Rose by a certain degree. But you may use either of the two. I still use Rose back when I was doing chapter 12 live stream. So he's still useful in case if you don't have this hopeful Sailor Totori. But if you're to get her, I'd recommend having her Memoria also. So even if it's rank 1, I'd suggest doing that after getting this character. But if you do have a Memoria, if you do have a character that has a slash element, you're not missing out on Totori's Memoria, which I'll have to mention that later. So let's change a little bit since we have the addition of leader skill. Let's go for leader skill and then gift colors. So Strength of a Voyager, family and friends characters get increased burst skill damage by 100%, which is a double. So it's basically twice the burst skill damage than usual. So for those who are family and friends, Flocke, Valeria, the twins, Eska, Aisha, herself, Totori, Lanze, Heidi, and then two more Valeria variants, and the twins' other variant, and even her own variants. So yeah, great to be family, eh? So she's part of our LAN, family friends, mentor, so Shisho, and adventurers, Flocke and Sha. Gift colors this time for Totori are yellow to green with Mighty Curse, Physical Defense Blessing, and last but not least, Physical Stun Damage Boost. Do I recommend her using Hopeful Sailor Totori? Well, if you don't have Rose yet, and I'm assuming that you guys haven't gotten him yet, I think Totori will likely be a good, will likely be either a good replacement or somewhat a good upgrade from Rose. I say if you don't have Rose yet, Totori's variant could be useful. So yeah, this is, I will have to say, I would have to say, Story Chapter 12 score battles are now going to be gacha bound. So meaning, she will be recommended to take out very hard score battles, especially if you have Lanze, which I'll have to mention that in the next part of the live Legend Fes Breakdown. So, why do you need Lanze for Story Chapter 12? Well, the captain is back! 2,428, that's very high for slash attacker. Physical attack of 905, 224, he is below average or slower. His defense stats are almost balanced by 2-point difference. So, Lanze, he is the slash attacker that can counterattack enemies, even if he's not a defender. I will show you why. Skill 1, Zamberfix. So this is targeting only one enemy. He has a damage of 111 damage, 111% damage with 10% break damage with 100 ticks of weight. After attacking, he will reduce his own damage received by 20% for one attack. He'll also grant himself protection for one turn, and grant self-counter for one counterattack. This cannot be stacked. Now he is referring to using his counterattack based on his skill 2 Healing Fin. So if the enemy were to attack Lanze, like, he will just basically take the damage for the team. Not only the enemy will only attack him, but Lanze will also trigger his counterattack, which is based on Heaving Fin. Now, Heaving Fin has 325% damage, 43% break damage with 200 ticks of weight. This allows him to not just remove his debuffs, so before attacking, once he finishes his attack against enemies, he will boost his own physical attack by 10% with a maximum of 30%. So he can do this 3 times, and then afterwards, Heaving Fin is already at its full potential. So, I will have to say this is stackable, so up to 30%. I think this could be able to enhance his counterattacks too. So if you have Zamberfist on, pretty good for manual teams. However, for for auto-play teams, I think they'll be missing out on allowing Lanze to be like somewhat of a useful part defender, part attacker, akin to the Envoy Patty. Now, Patty noted that she is a stab defender. More or less, she has more benefits on maintaining more damage than Lanze. But fortunately, this will be mitigated with one of his abilities, if I recall. Now, Voyage Edge. I do like this burst skill because that's just going at a Street Fighter kind of fighting game moment. So, this attacks all enemies, 300% damage, 37% stun with 37% break damage with 200 ticks of weight. This skill, particularly, he will boost the damage by 100% if there are 3 or more enemies on screen. So, he is useful to clear out mobs. If there are less than 3 though, this won't be effective, but damage is still high if you have Lanze's first skill to level 5, that is. Base stats basically, if he's a 3-star, his burst skill will be at level 1, so expect this effect will be useful for clearing out mobs. Awaken Instant. When hit by an attack, he will increase his critical rate by 25% with a maximum of 100. This allows him to no longer rely on Innocent Dreamer Resna if you don't have any other attacker. This also allows him, if he's getting counterattacked like 4 times, you can guarantee his next attack will be double the damage or so. Or it will depend if he has more critical damage buffer on his ear. Destructive Overload /2. This boosts skill damage by 20% for all allies with slash affinity. So this is a biased passive. If you're building a slash team, that is, then Lanze, if he's part of the team, then his skill damage buff will be useful for all teams on the slash affinity. Now his leader skill this time is No More Farewells. Well, Well, he no longer is. Story development, that is. Now, the effect for his leader skill is only... It's not persistent. Actually, this only works at the start of the battle. Adventurer's character's damage received by 30% for 2 attacks will be used at the start of the battle. Now, whoever's within the adventure attack, including himself, if you have these on your team, expect those to be very useful. Although I don't think Lanze how... what about Ruven? Ruven is Slash, so I think the only one who's going to take advantage of Lanze's leader skill is gotta be... Actually, the one who's going to take advantage of Lanze's passive has to be Ruben. Ruben is slash attacker. Yu is unfortunately a stab attacker. Leela, any of the characters like Ryzen can take advantage of... The Master's right-hand one can take advantage of Lanze's passive. Theories, however, Ice Supporter, that won't work. The Sailor Totori will be able to take advantage of Lanze's passive, so... I see this one has gotta be useful with the slash ability, plus taking advantage of the adventurer character's damage. So, No More Farewells is useful if you're building a team of these characters, but only 4 characters will take advantage of Lanze's passive, which, including himself, Master's Right Hand Liza, Sailor Totori, and Ruben are the only ones who will take advantage of his passive, so a bit restrictive, but if you're building an adventurer team, that's fine. Just don't expect his ability to be, well, this useful. He is part this time of Lantarna, Family and Friends, Adventurers, and Energetic. That's the tag that I think it's Yokisha in the Japanese version. Gift colors this time for Lanze are purple to red with slash girls, slash shield, and slash damage boost. So pretty useful if you're going to synthesize items based on slash focus, gear, and battle items. So however, he's particularly useful on Score Battle Chapter 12. Last time I did attempt this off stream, I couldn't get through 12-1 very hard. So, Lanze could be the key to take out essentially the Man Wars and the Feelers, as well as the Turtle. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time if you don't have a character that counterattacks. Or, I think there's a strategy where you can use Academy characters to take out Score Battle 12-1 very hard. That's very hard for me to maintain that. And I don't even have at least one character. Well, I do have Anna, but I don't have any other character to clear out Score Battle 12-1, so I have to say, Chapter 12 is going to be... Chapter 12 onwards is going to be gacha bound, although recently I think I tried Score Battle Chapter 15 and somewhat the difficulty has gotten, well, lowered somewhat, but still hard for the majority of the players, so... Yeah, expect a few story chapters, Score Battles to be gacha bound, so... If you're going for a particular chapter, Legend Fes Banners, I mean, don't expect to go, well, I might as well use that character, and then I can use that same character for future chapters. Think about that. We will get the first anniversary banners anyway, so as early in the Japanese version, we are likely going to get a set of characters that will be useful in not just that particular chapter, but also in past and future chapters. So, Shippy, let's sail! Physical attack, 31.25%. This is favorable for physical attackers, so when equipped to an attacker, boost physical attack skill damage by up to 52%. I already have this one ranked 2 in the Japanese version, and I'd say it's very good. So, defense stats, however, are 13.75. Don't expect this Memoria to be useful for defenders. Well, if you have an attacker that does defense, that's fine. Lanze can use this one. Lanze and any other slash attacker or any physical attacker will be able to take advantage of this Memoria's effect. So, yeah, good for those who have Logi, I think. And Halloween Blackta, unfortunately, she is slash supporter, which we don't have yet. And yeah, Lanze and Logi might be able to take advantage of this new Memoria. Let's see if I might have gotten this one incorrectly, but yeah. Long story short, this is likely going to be one of the first few battles that will be restrictive for score battles, but they're not necessarily useless in slash towers in particular fashion. So if you like Sitter Totori without her captain's hat in score battle, or you might use her during battle, I'd say go for it. Or you want the burst skill animation that has the coolest effects and fighting ever? Well, go for Lanze. Now, I will say this is a same element Legend Fes Banner this time, so let's check out the trial battle before we can finish the stream. Before we can finish the recording and then move on to covering story chapter 12. So, so hopeful Sailor Totori we're going to be using her anyway, so oh yeah, by the way, Totori has a gun. Why not give the guns to Soul then? Well, I guess we might as well have to use it on one enemy that, is likely going to be suffering by the Giga Giant anchor. So yeah, prepare to get anchored, red puppet bastard, I don't know. Oink! Slash him like the sword controls her. And where did she even got that anchor? There. The puppet just got stunned. And whew. Now, ironically, they also added Soul to this party. Like, give her a gun. Yeah, Oscar. Don't worry about that. Oscar will use his skill 1 anyway. Doesn't even have status effects on him, so I can just use skill 1 instead. Oh yeah. So this one, I thought it was going to target the nearest enemy who will go first after Totori uses her skill 2. Turns out it only targets on that particular enemy who will likely get that debuff panel next. I targeted the wrong guy. Bear a little longer, Oscar. My boy is getting lobbed by fireballs. Okay, now this will work on stunning this enemy out. Whoop! And slash down. It's like the sword knows where Totori will use her skill 2 then. Nice, yet to show her skill 1. There's just one slash. Alright, finish the battle, Soul. You'll be getting your guns later. I wish I could get her though. Yozora! Hey, like that. Oh yeah, I actually used Lanze's burst skill animation earlier. Wow. Well, since there are no targets anyway, take out with a skill 1. Alright, Totori, healing up. Alright, prepare to fight! Now, because there are 5 enemies on screen, you'll get a boosted damage by 100, so it's a total of 400%. Instant knockout for those boonies out there. Oh, rip. Time for the best burst skill animation ever! A one-of-a-kind critical hit! Slash up! That's the best ending ever. We have found the One Piece. Hey, since the carrier's not going to attack all targets anyway, so I'm not trying to defend. What is up? So I think it's a physical attack. That's why Nika was not able to take advantage of her status effect. Right, so actually that's 5. Actually, let's give him the healing pin then. Damper Fest this guy. Alright, good luck with that. Skill 2 in effect. Try to hit him. Whoa, no, nice try. There. Now, I don't think he can break, so nah. Not a chance for him to attack again. Let's try this again. Now this increases his vertical rate. Protect Lanze because he's still protecting Linka. Come on! Fight me! Finishing move. Well, I already finished with a critical hit. And that's the end for this Legend Fes Banner. So, I'll be covering story chapter 2, and see you guys next time for the next Legend Fes Breakdown. Hopefully it's going to be in recorded format, unlike the live stream format that I did in the previous episode. So, yeah, that's going to be it. See you guys next time. And time to continue streaming. So anyway, that's going to be it. This is Good Boy. Blue Sky, Discord server, link in the video description. And I'll see you guys in the next Legend Fes Breakdown. Goodbye, see you soon. And let's finish up with this B-roll instead. Lanze's burst skill animation is also lit. Alright, that's it everybody. Yosara.